Okay, welcome back, students. Myself Tanishwari. With respect to our last class, we had come across with what do you mean by Unix files, then what do you mean by Unix file system, then what is directory, what are the operations which can be done across with a file, and what are the operations which can be done across with a file, with a directory. Okay, so then followed out with the same, we'll come across in today's class regarding what are the various different directory commands here. Okay, so with respect to directory commands, so there are several commands which can be operatable on a directory file. So in that, to name few are, the very first command is pwd, which will be coming across. So pwd stands out for present working directory. Okay, in my last classes I had said you that this prompt is nothing but a colon in respective Unix. Okay, and whenever this colon appears only for the registered users and not for all. So as soon as you are a registered user, so you will have a pwd as a command, you can use it. Okay, so when you use pwd as a command, it will give you this particular output there. So what is this output now? This output signifies that in which current directory are you working. So my current directory here is /home/kumar. So it says that you are in this particular current directory. So why this is important? This is important so that any files whatever are created or any directories which are created further will be created in this particular present working directory. Even your ls as a command will be listing you the number of files and directories from the present working directory and not from the root directory. Okay, so this is your pwd as a command. Okay, so it lists you the present working directory, or else you can call it as print working directory. Okay, checking your current directory there. Okay, then comes there is another command called as cd. Cd stands out for change directory. Okay, if I want to change the directory called as cd, in this Kumar I have an subdirectory which I know it, and that is gmit. Okay, so if I use cd gmit and press an enter key, it will not list me anything on the screen there. There is no output for this. Okay, it will just change the directory. Then after that, if you use pwd as a command, you can just see that it has now your working directory has been changed to /home/kumar/gmit. So which means that you are in this particular current directory there. Okay, after this current directory, now whatever, now like for example ls you do. Okay, so what will that ls list? Ls lists the number of files and the directories in this current working directory called out as gmit there. Okay, so this is one. So the same one is explained here with cd, changing the current directory there. Cd gmit, I use pwd, it lists me like this. Even cd as a command can be used in the other way also. Now I do not want to list out with the directory within this. So what do I want to do is I want to shift directly to an another directory name which I know it already. So what you can do is use cd and use the path name there. Path name is nothing but /bin if I use it. So then if I use this command called as pwd, it lists me /bin and not this particular present working directory there. So it lists that it says that your working directory has been changed here. Okay, so this is one. Then let's come across with another command called as mkdir. Mkdir stands out for making the directory there. Okay, so if I use mkdir gmit, okay, so whatever is your current directory, okay, so in that current directory this directory will be created. Gmit directory is created under present working directory. Now like for example, your current directory is this one /home/kumar, and if you use mkdir gmit, so it means that there is another directory created as gmit under that. Okay, so then comes across is another usage, another example of mkdir. So what I can do is I can use mkdir. So you can just see here I have used it as patch dbs doc. So what do you mean by that? I want to create 3 subdirectories in the current directory at a time. At a time, mind my statement. So here what will happen is at a time in the current directory, these 3 directories will be created then. Okay. Then comes across is one more example. mkdir, I have used it as gmit, gmit/csc, gmit/isc. So what do you mean by this? Gmit is an directory which will be created, of course, and subdirectory in the current directory, and in that I am specifying it here called out as in gmit I want one more subdirectory to be created called out as csc and one more subdirectory called out as isc. So at a time I can perform this. So when you press an enter key, it will not list you anything. Okay, so but directories and subdirectories will be created automatically. Okay, so this is all about your mkdir. Similarly, whatever I have created, I can remove them. So for that I use rmdir. So rmdir stands out for removing directories. So when I use rmdir and progs, so what will happen? This is an directory which is already existing in the current directory. So as soon as I use it, so it will be deleted there. Okay, but be very cautious before you are deleting any directory files there. Okay, and one more very important priority of rmdir is whenever you use such a command, so what will happen in any subdirectories, if there are any subdirectories or else any sub files into it, so at that time Unix does not allow rmdir to delete that directory there until and unless this directory file is empty. Okay, mind my statement, until and unless the directory file is empty, this will not be performed. Okay, so there is one more example here. What I have done here, rmdir gmit csc gmit /isc gmit. So you can just see here, while creating, I have created first the main directory, then the subdirectories under it. But while deleting it, keep in mind you have to delete first the subdirectories, then you have to delete the main directory. Okay, got to know. So then comes across is there are two kinds of path names which will be specifying usually. One is called out as absolute path name and one more is called out as relative path name. Absolute path names are those which starts out with slash. Okay, anything you are specifying with a slash is called out as absolute path name. And relative path names are those which you specify with a single dot or else a two dot. Single dot says represents the current directory, two dots represents the parent directory. Okay, so you can just come across with an example here. PWD, so it has listed you. So what is this? It's an absolute path name. Okay, so now if I use cd dot dot, so cd dot dot is nothing but one level up it goes. Okay, so that is you were in text as a subdirectory, now it has moved up. So you can just see PWD, when I pressed, what has happened, it has moved this one. So if the same thing, if you want to specify using absolute path name, what you have to do is cd, again you have to use /home /kumar /progs /data. Okay, then you would have pressed PWD, it would have moved to the same one. But the same thing can be done very simple, that is cd dot dot. Okay, now if I want to move two level up, that is I want to move here, so what I can do is I can use cd dot dot /dot dot. So that is two level up, it will be moved there. Okay, so this is one example. So ls I had said just now. Okay, ls is listing the current directory contents there. Okay, so whatever your current directory contents are there, those will be listed. It can be listing up of subdirectories into it, it can be listing up of files into it and other things there. Okay, so how will your ls be doing it is, ls gives a priority first to numerals, then to uppercase, then to lowercase file names there. Numerals will be listed first. Numerals, any file name which starts with numerals will be listed first, then uppercase file names will be listed, then lowercase file names will be listed. You can just see here ls, and what will be the output. So you can just see the priority goes 08, numeral is given first. Okay, then calendar, dept.list, emp.list, help dir, usk dsk 06. So these are all the files or else the directories which are existing in the current directory. Okay, the same ls you can use with options. Okay, so options is, if I want my output in multiple columns, so what I can do is I can use ls-x. Okay, if I use ls-x, it will provide me in a multi-columnar display. So here, as I have in a row here, the same thing will be listed as first two file names will be here, then the next two, then the next two, multi-columnar. Okay, so here the directories and executables, if at all you want those to be listed, you can use -F. So that will list you only those things there. Okay, then how can you show any hidden files there, any hidden files if they are existing? So I can use it as ls-axf for an example. -A stands out for hidden files, -F stands out for identifying directories and executables. So you can find here that anything which are started with a dot, always keep in mind those are hidden files there. Okay, those are hidden files. Then an asterisk, wherever you find an asterisk, it indicates executable code there. Okay, and wherever you have an slash, it refers to directories. Okay, fine. Okay. The same thing you can just come across here wherein listing directory contents there. I have two directories here. For an example, I have taken help dir and progs. I want listing up of sub files into it. So what do I use? ls -s help dir progs. So what we will do? First help dir, these are the files under it. Then progs, these are the files under it. Okay, this is listing up of directory contents there. Then if I want a recursive listing, so what do you mean by recursive? I have a directory, I know the directory name, in that subdirectories are there, in that other files are there, I want listing up of all of them. So I can just use a simple formulation called out as hyphen capital R. So you can, what you can do is ls hyphen x, x stands for multi-columnar. Okay, it's not hard and fast rule, you have to use it. It is just so that your display looks good there. Hyphen x R. So you can just see here, firstly it has listed all the files. Okay, all the files, all the directories, everything is listed. Then what it has done, help dir and progs are directory files now. Then next you can just find it here that help dir, in that there are two files into it, progs there are two files into it. Okay, those all will be listed automatically. You need not give individually the listing up of those directory contents there. Okay, then comes cat command. What is the use of cat command here? Displaying and creating files. Cat is used to display the contents of a file, and the same command cat can be used to create the contents of a file. Okay, so here I can just see, if at all you are using, cat to create a file, okay, then what you will do is you will be using cat greater than sign and with a file name there. So what does that do? It's nothing but a greater than sign says that you are going to create a particular file there. So when you create a file, you are using this particular symbol there. Okay, so and when you have ended out with creation, you use control D. So as soon as you get a prompt, it's nothing but the end of the input there. If you want to have the display of the contents, what you do is cat, and in front of that you give the file name there, and when you press an enter key, it displays the contents of that particular file. Okay, so if at all you want to copy the contents of a file, so you have another command here called out as cp. Okay, cp, if I use cp hyphen I is interactive copying, wherein I can have an interactive copying with now, like for example, without my knowing, there can be sometimes an overwriting there. So that to avoid that overwriting, you can use this cp hyphen I there. Okay, cp hyphen I chap 01 unit 1. So it will ask you overwrite unit 1 or what. So that's nothing but already this particular what do you say, and file is existing there. Okay, so that's why it will ask you overwrite. So when you use it as y, so y prompts that it will be overwritten there. Okay, the same thing can be used across for directory structures also. Okay, cp hyphen R behaves recursively to copy an entire directory structure, say programs to new programs. Okay, so this is your source and this is your destination. This entire whatever is existing in progs will be copied to new progs. Okay. Similarly, if at all I want to delete the files, what I'll be using? I'll be using rm. Okay, there rmdir I was using to delete the directory files. Here just rm I'll be using. Okay, rm chap 010203. So all these three files will be deleted. Similarly, if at all I know the location of them, okay, where it is existing, and only that particular file I want to delete, so I can use that as a path name, progs slash chap01 progs slash chap02. Okay, so it will remove only those two particular files there. Be very cautious with using this one, okay, because it removes entire all the files in your current directory. So that's why better suggestive, do not remember this particular command at all. Okay, then okay, of course I am only saying it. Okay, rm hyphen I. Okay, instead of this, if I use a I, so as here copying, interactive copying, okay, it will ask you before it is going to do any work there. Here also what it will do is it will ask you, and another option, do you want to delete it, do you want to delete it, do you want to delete it. If you press y, only then the file should be deleted. Okay. Similarly, you can recursively delete also. rm hyphen r asterisk. Okay, again I suggest you do not remember it. Recursive deletion without your knowledge. Recursively, now help dir is a directory, in that subdirectory is there, in that subfiles are there, all the subfiles will be deleted, directory will be deleted, and the main directory will be deleted without your knowledge, if at all you are using it. Okay, so that is recursive deletion. Then comes wc. So what is this wc as a command? Wc stands out for counting up of lines, words, and characters. Okay, if I use wc and in front of that a file name, it lists you 2, 10, 55 and the file name. So 2 is number of lines, 10 is number of words, then 55 is number of characters. Like this, I can use wc hyphen l. It will just list you, hyphen l stands out for just listing up of only the lines there. Okay, sorry. Similarly, you can use wc hyphen w. It lists you 10, which says that number of words. Okay, wc hyphen c, it will list you the number of characters, that is only 55, if at all you are very particular with showing up of the notations there. Okay, then comes is there is another command called it as od. So that's nothing but whatever your file will be there, that entire data will be displayed to you in octal there. Okay, you can just come across here od hyphen b od file. Okay, so hyphen b option displays the octal values for each of the characters there. Whatever character is used in this particular file will all be displayed in the octal value there. Okay, so that's all with respect to this particular module there. Okay, so in the next one we'll come across to know file listing up of attributes there. Okay, thank you.